What is up, everyone? Phil here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for Tuesday, the 8th of February, 2022, my first day back in a 6-day streaming week. And here's the deal. Interesting stuff today for sure. First of all, on the pre-stream podcast, I set up the polls on which you guys are now voting on the games that will be played for Gamepass Marathon, which is coming up this Saturday. That's right, this coming Saturday, which would be, let's see, the 9th and the 12th? Saturday the 12th will be the Game Pass Marathon event. At least 3 games will be played, possibly up to 5 total games will be played depending on time constraints, plus there'll be a live episode of Feasting with the King. So the 2 polls are up, 5 games in each poll for the games that are eligible. Some returning games like Quake, Serious Sam 4, the final episode of the Forgotten City, the final ending of the Forgotten City, among that kind of stuff. There's also at least, I believe, 3 or 4 new games that I've never played before, okay? So, please head to the main channel page of DSPGaming and vote. Those polls will be open all week, and the games that make the top voting will be played. The top 3 are guaranteed to be played on Saturday, and then there's possibly another 2 that could be fitting in there depending on time constraints and how the actual marathon goes, all right? Now, later this week, there will also be a poll for the cuisine that I'll be eating during the Feasting with the King episode. What will the choices be? Vietnamese food, Thai food, and Mexican food. Although, admittedly, Mexican food's a lot more mainstream, and I eat it often. There's a lot of Mexican-style dishes that I've never tried, and I could maybe order a couple things off of a Mexican menu that I've never really dabbled in before and see if they're any good, okay? So, please now vote on the games you want to see for the Game Pass Marathon, and then later this week, I'll let you know when the poll is live for the cuisine pick for Feasting with the King. The first stream today was Sifu. Man, I have mixed feelings about the game. I really enjoyed the first 2 to 2.5 hours of today's stream. I beat the entire first world, or first stage, in one go, although I did die several times, and I understood how these dying mechanics worked, where basically you come back to life, but you age as you do. You only get a limited amount of deaths. Once you run out, that's it. You cannot revive. You can start this level over, and if you do, you will retain anything that you have permanently unlocked by spending experience points during the course of your run. Some of the permanent unlocks include brand new abilities and things that you can use, which is great because some of the abilities are exceptionally good. In fact, during the course of my first stream today, I permanently unlocked 2 abilities. It was the ability to do this walking forward kick, and then also the ability to grab a thrown item and throw it back at an enemy, okay? Now, I got pretty good at parrying. I got pretty good at learning how to build up your opponent's stagger meter a la Sekiro, and then doing a takedown, which is an instant kill essentially when you get it. I learned a lot of stuff. I actually got pretty good at the game. But then, after about 2.5 hours, I started reaching the second half of the second stage of the game. And enemies all of a sudden started to behave very differently, to the point where many of them had what's called, in any fighting game, super armor. What this means is that the enemy has the ability to do an attack that even if you counter it, meaning, okay, I went around the enemy and hit him from behind, I dodged and counterpunched, or even I did a strong ability of mine and hit them, they ignored the fact that you hit them and continue to do their attack anyway, okay? It's incredibly frustrating because guess what? There's no way in Sifu to stop it. Literally, super armor attacks, you can't do anything about them. You just have to dodge them or find a way to counter them, like parry them, but parrying doesn't always work against certain attacks at all. Parrying only works against lighter attacks and or orange attacks. Any attack that has like an orange aura around it, you can't really parry it, which is stupid in my opinion, but it is what it is. There's these unparryable attacks. So the super armor became a problem. When I'm in a room full of enemies, why is super armor a factor? Why can't I just beat them up like you should be able to do in real life? Doesn't make sense. Then the camera started to be an issue. And what I mean by that is you're a third-person action game, right? Your character's going to be on the screen. Well, sometimes the camera will go behind you and stick. Now I can't see anything around me because the camera's stuck behind me. What happened a few times, I'd be in a room and get close to a wall. The camera will get stuck in the wall, and now there's enemies off screen that just come and punch you, and you can't do anything about it. You can't see them coming because the camera got stuck. This happened multiple times today. This has been an ongoing issue in games for a long time. I complained about stuff like this as far back as Dark Souls and Bloodborne. When you have an ultra difficult game, you need a camera that's going to actually be dynamic and move through walls and unstick. And in this game, sadly, the camera is becoming an issue for me, okay? But lastly, the thing that really pissed me off. I get to the second boss, okay? And I get there with a decent amount of revives left. I'm probably not going to be able to beat the stage. I'll probably have to redo it to unlock more abilities and stuff. But I'm like, oh, okay, I should be able to beat him. The second boss cannot be parried, cannot be hit after a dodge. After you dodge 3 to 4 of his attacks, he has a bow staff. After 3 to 4 attacks, if you try to dodge and hit, it instantly dodges and you miss no matter what. There's literally no way to consistently hit him, except there's an ability that during the opening intro of the game, they throw you through a whirlwind tutorial of many different abilities. And when you're doing it, you're like, oh, this is probably just showing you a bunch of the things that you'll eventually learn in the game and you'll want to use. There's no way that they would do like 5 to 6 abilities back to back that you need to learn right now and memorize for later in the game. Yes. Yes. In fact, the intro of the game is a montage of the bosses, and apparently you need to memorize and use the abilities they show you in that intro in order to actually continue and beat the game. So here I am, really working my ass off to try to beat the second stage by the end of my stream. I'm running out of time, and I keep getting to the second boss, and I can't hit the motherfucker at all. I'm like, what is going on? So come to find out, I've run out of time. I'm raging on my stream. I'm so fucking pissed at this. People are like, oh, in the intro montage, they taught you that you can either dodge low or high to avoid strikes. And specifically, that's for this boss because he has a bow staff. You're supposed to duck his bow staff, and then you can hit him. It's the only time you can actually hit him. If you don't duck the bow staff with the special ability, you cannot hit the boss. So it's a puzzle boss. Ladies and gentlemen, you know my opinion on puzzle bosses. I hate them. Why is it that the entirety of the game I've gotten to this point with no problems? I mean, yes, it's getting tougher. Like I said, the camera's annoying me. The super armor is kind of becoming an issue. But I'm still succeeding. I'm still pushing through, killing everything. But this boss all of a sudden is a puzzle. You need to know this ability. If you didn't realize that ability that was in the intro montage that literally lasts 2 minutes was something important you were going to need to get past the boss, it's ludicrous. It's incredibly poorly executed. If anything, they should introduce the fucking ability you need right before the segment where you need it. Not at the beginning of the game and then it's never used and all of a sudden you're supposed to magically fucking know you need it for a specific boss later. It's dumb. It's really poorly done. But now I know that. And I went, actually, after I finished my stream, I went back and watched my gameplay and I watched the intro. It's like 2 minutes long. And I'm like, oh. So the first boss is parry. The second boss is duck or dodge up to dodge his bow staff. The third boss is actually this double palm strike, which I've not used once. Apparently, I need it for this third boss. The fourth boss is a sweep and punching them when they're down. Apparently, I need that for the fourth boss. It's hilarious because you're literally spoiling the game by watching the intro to the game, and apparently that's how you win. Now I know that. So now moving forward, I will try to implement those techniques. I just think it's really stupid the way they did that. Okay? So, do I hate Sifu? No. Did it frustrate the fuck out of me? Yes. But I think I have the solution to my frustrations now. Okay? Then tonight's late night stream was Skyrim. My very first ever Skyrim Anniversary Edition late night stream. Attendance was pretty good. Admittedly, it wasn't as high as when I played it as a main gameplay stream, but it was still pretty good. We got over 100 likes on the stream. For the most part, engagement was good. People who've been there for a lot of the Skyrim streams were there to interact with me tonight. All right, it went decent in that regard. Support. Well, got a few memberships. That was good. Got a very small amount of super chats. Got a decent amount of tips. I think it was by the end of the night, it was around $60 to $70 in tips. That's nothing to complain about, especially on a late stream. But this actually makes me worry a little bit, and here's why. We just specifically got hats for the Skyrim playthrough. The reason these hats were useful is because we were hitting the tips goal for the hat every single Skyrim stream when it was a main gameplay stream. The very first night that this became a night stream, we didn't hit it. Not even close. And this is what I'm worried about now was a playthrough that was doing relatively well as an early stream, now not going to do as well consistently because it's on a night stream, and now we have all these new things, hats and everything, and they're just not even going to be used. I hope that's not the case. I hope that maybe tonight was just the first night of having a late stream. Maybe we will have some streams where we hit the tips goal. We'll see what happens moving forward, okay? So, it is what it is. The stream went well. I had fun. The viewers had fun. Overall, it was a very good stream. I'm just like damn, it would really suck if now we're not going to hit the hat goal anymore and the hats just don't get used. All right, so that was today. Now, by the end of tonight, I was talking with my viewing audience. We actually ran a poll during the late stream, what I should play tomorrow. I determined I'm going to play Sifu again. And actually, I got to give credit to Swaggins, my moderator. He basically said, well, when you played Dying Light 2 as a new release, you played it both Friday and Saturday back to back. Wouldn't it be fair to at least give Sifu that same kind of treatment and respect? He's right. Even though I'm very worried about the Dying Light 2 playthrough, I'm going to play Sifu again tomorrow as the main stream, and tomorrow night will be Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, why am I afraid about the Dying Light 2 playthrough? I'll tell you why. Number one, after 2 sessions, I was not impressed. I don't think Dying Light 2 is a significant improvement over 1 outside of the graphics. It seems like actually a lot of things became even more complicated from the first game, which I don't know how much I like that. In addition, it wasn't getting tons of great support as it was. By the end of that second stream, people were like, man, I don't know how good this game really is going to turn out to be. I now haven't played it for 4 days. Since I'm playing Sifu tomorrow, I'm not going to play it 5 days in a row. So now you're talking almost a full week since I played it. I'll finally be getting back to it on Thursday. Is anyone going to care? Like I told you guys, the next thing I'm going to do when I play that game, I'm going to get those injectors. I'm going to level myself up. I don't even care if the whole fucking stream is me just going to those places and getting the injectors and leveling myself up. I have to do it. If I don't do it, I'm not going to make any progress in this playthrough. But I'm concerned. If I don't play a game for an extended period of time that's a new release, will anyone care? I don't know. And I spent money on this game. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like this is a game that I was a free one on Gamepass. These are games now that I'm dropping money on. And I need them to be playthroughs people want to see. And I don't know what's going on with Dying Light 2 right now. All right? So the good news is tomorrow, more Sifu. I hope to persevere against the second boss and continue on with the game and make more progress. Now that I understand that you actually need to use these new abilities that I didn't understand you had to use in combat, I will do so. And we'll see if that helps with this boss and how easily I can beat him and move on. Okay? But that being said, hopefully it's a successful stream as much as today, because today went really well, even especially with that rage at the end. People always love when I raid, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. And Pokemon tomorrow night, I'll be honest, I don't have high hopes for Pokemon. Not to say that I don't think it'll be a fun stream, but as you guys know, I've talked about this now, Pokemon, really the support has completely dwindled for this playthrough. So hopefully we will have a successful Pokemon stream tomorrow night, okay? Alright guys, so Sifu and Pokemon tomorrow. That means Dying Light 2 and Skyrim on Thursday. Please have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow for more Sifu fun. Awesome.